This just in, Solana is partnering with Visa. As according to Watcher.guru on Twitter, or X.com rather, I gotta be politically correct here, Visa expands its cross-border payment to Solana. And what kind of price action is Solana seeing after this? We would expect it to be absolutely exploding in price, correct? This is a massive thing. This is not something to just sneeze about. And Solana is doing pretty much nothing, up 0.67% on the day. Literally irrelevant news for Solana, which is a little bit shocking. I fully expected this to be an extremely volatile morning. At least, like, look at this on the daily. Solana is at the bottom of its channel, completely ignoring what's happening here. We'll scoot this down a little bit so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Solana's literally at the bottom of a channel. I fully expected this to be what bounced us off of the bottom of the channel when I saw this. However, it was irrelevant. What's good, AR Constructions, builders and developers? I'm good. How are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming through this live stream. Let's check out Crypto Panic, and then we'll look at some of the money flow. So Crypto Panic for news, and then we'll look at the money flow in crypto, see what kind of things are popping off, or at least what kind of money, what direction the market's moving. And then let's get into it a little bit further, right? How's everyone doing on this fantastic Tuesday, September 5th? Cheers to that. Sorry I'm a minute or two late, but Visa expands stablecoin settlement options to Solana. Yep, Solana, Ethereum. I think this is interesting because this is definitely fundamentally good for Solana. However, it's not having a price impact. So very, very interesting. Good, sir. From last week one, I'm watching you, sir. You're a good teacher. Thank you. I appreciate that. Feel free to ask any questions. I think right now it's you and me chilling, having a good time here. So you get one-on-one teaching. Or my input, I guess. Cardano's stablecoin receives a big code upgrade. I hope they completely revamp this. This is me personally. I don't think that DJed will stay a good idea. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I have a lot of Cardano, but I don't think it was a good idea to do an algorithmic stablecoin. It reminds me way too much of Terra Luna. And no, it's like Terra Luna with a couple extra steps. All right. The volume flow, real quick, we'll look at this. They updated this. So this is cryptometer.io. They updated this a little bit, so it's more interesting to look at here. So you can see the net flows of crypto. This just tells us like maybe what we should pay attention to, right? What's good, Dream? Welcome, welcome. So we got stable coins and different fiats over here, fiat currencies and Filecoin. That's mostly flowing into USDT, which makes sense, right? That's like the major on-ramp into crypto, as well as KRW is getting a little bit. And then from USDT, we're going into things like XRP, we're going into Ethereum, we're going into Cosmos and Tron actually. So that's fascinating. I like looking at the table view and then just clicking for net flow. So right now, stable coins seem to be getting a lot of it, which means people are taking profits. People are profiting. Bitcoin's down, Ethereum's down, and these two stable coins are down. XRP's down. So I'd expect the market to be a little bit bearish today, to be completely honest. Let's go into the 1 minute. We'll go through the charts and see if we can find any trends, any patterns. So Ethereum started off the morning downtrending here. You can see that, right? Let's zoom in a little bit and kind of dissect what we saw here, because this could have been a really good trading opportunity, but it switched directions, right? Give me a good trade, sir. Yes, that is the goal, correct? That is the goal. So I trade one specific pattern, all right? I will swing trade occasionally when I see that a different pattern is too good to ignore, but when I'm day trading, I do one specific pattern. That's it. That pattern is exactly what played out here in the early mornings of the day. So we start out. This is a volume weighted average price. You guys are fully aware of simple moving averages. It's just an average of the price over some period of time, right? That's a simple moving average. I think those could be a little bit better, right? So I do the volume weighted moving average so that the velocity behind each candle, how many buyers or sellers in any given minute candlestick, is also taken into account, because not every minute of data is actually valued at the same, right? It's just not. More volume happens in one candlestick than another, so I like to account for that. And so I do the volume weighted average price. I know that this works as an indicator because I learned it from someone who came from Wall Street, right? So I know that institutions look at the volume weighted average price when it comes to entering or exiting positions. Good morning, Johnny. Welcome, welcome. So what I do is I look for us to have clear direction. If we're below the VWAP, right? We're below the middle VWAP, I know that we're going down. If we're above, I know we're going up, right? It's literally as simple as that. And this morning on Ethereum, we had one rejection down. Then we had two rejections down. So I would have been looking for the third attempt at touching it, only to get rejected and come down. I enter at these rejections because direction is very clear. However, what ended up happening is when we came up here to test it, we broke straight through and then formed support and now had a complete change in direction on Ethereum on the daily, right? And so direction is unclear. I don't know if we're going to respect the VWAP and continue going up for the day or if we're going to break back down, right? I'm not sure. So I don't take that trade. So which chart timing we have and see trades ourselves. I use the 1 minute for this strategy. The 1 minute chart. So each candlestick represents 1 minute of data. If you want to use the 5 minute or the 15 minute, you absolutely can. I wouldn't go any higher than the 15 minute for this strategy. The 15 minute helps you just drown out some of the noise, right? The 15 minute just kind of like blends everything together so it's easier to see the pattern. It's just more exciting and you have more data to look at on the 1 minute. But the 15 minute is about as high as I would go. I wouldn't go any higher than that for this strategy. But we see Ethereum is not hitting the mark today, so we'll move on. We got Bitcoin. Bitcoin was kind of respecting it, but similar strategy. It switched over halfway through the day. Cardano. Matic. Even though, I'll go over this in a second. Matic, you guys remember Matic, please, okay? Just in case I forget it in a second. Matic is a contender. Solana, no. HBAR, no. XRP, I could see XRP. Nope. 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 Although, maybe. No. Aave, no. And then down to Quant, no. Full disclosure, I am in fact long Quant though. Anytime it goes under 100, I like to go long on Quant. All right, so let's look at Matic and let me explain my rationale as to why I do think that this is a contender for a trade today. We just have to be kind of patient and hope that we do come down to the VWAP, right? So every single end of trading day, right? I know crypto is trading 24/7, which is why I can make this assertion, because stocks are not that case. So every day is a new day of data, right? Every single time that the daily candle closes, this middle VWAP strategy restarts. You can kind of see why it starts off really tiny right here. The top VWAP, the bottom VWAP, and the middle VWAP, they all start off really small there and then grow and expand as more data is entered into it, right? Because it's a 24-hour market, however, I can reasonably assume that it does not need to restart. We could just continue on with this data, right? And if we were to continue on, it might look something more like that, right? You guys kind of understand that? Because that's unnecessary that it restarts there. So if we were to blend them together, it would look more like that. And the middle VWAP would come up like this, right? Which means that this technically still does hit the pattern. I am bending the rules a little bit, but it is a reasonable enough for me to be able to do something like that. So Polygonmatic, even though earlier on today, it did not fully respect the middle VWAP. Right here, we had an entire, how long was it trading ignoring it? We had about 4 hours of it ignoring the VWAP. I'm here to say that perhaps it was not actually ignoring the VWAP, and it would look something more like this if we did not have that daily reset. Sir, for trading spot, does or future trading best please suggest? It really just depends on what asset you're trading. Sometimes you don't have accessibility to spot. I, if possible, use spot trading, but if you're going to use leverage, you have to use futures. And I'm using leverage, so cheers to gambling, right? Alright, so with that being said, Polygonmatic, for me, is going to be a trade that we enter. When I zoom in here, okay, remember the pattern. Remember the pattern. I explained to you guys that we're looking for clear direction. Polygonmatic has clear direction for me. It's in an uptrend. We have a low, a high, a lower, or a higher low, and then a higher high. And then I'm looking for another higher low. Some of us, with limited emotional control, might be tempted to enter this position right now. Do any of you guys know why I might say it's not time to enter this position yet, despite it looking like we are hitting a higher low? Despite it looking like a decent entry point, and we just had a little green candle here. We just had a small green candle. We're bouncing, right? Why might I say that this is not a decent time to enter into a trade? And go ahead and draw. Let's zoom out a little bit so we get 15 minutes of data and make the pattern a little bit easier. Right, a little bit nicer on the eyes. Okay. It's a decent trend, right? I'll make this invisible so you can kind of see it for a second. We're at the bottom of a channel. It looks like it's building support. On the 15-minute, we're getting a little bit of a green candle here. This might be the lowest that it goes. It's very possible this is the lowest that it goes. Looks like it will get bulls tired soon. Definitely. This is not... I don't think this is going to be a long pattern, right? Especially if we look on the daily. Like it's 4 green days in a row. Polygonmatic's been kind of struggling lately to maintain some level of support. And then over here, we found support here and then got rejected here. So it's very possible that we shoot up to 58 cents and then get rejected. I'll leave this here and we can come back to it. It is kind of overextended if we're looking at it, right? It is a little bit overextended on everything. It's just been in this rally for quite some time. The reason why I'm saying it's not necessarily time to enter yet is because we are still in a downtrend. On this micro scale, if I were to take all that previous data away, this is in fact a downtrend. We have not broken that yet. We have not changed direction. We have not, we're still going down. In the near term here, in this very short time frame, we are still going down. We need to have clarity, confirmation of direction, right? We like to enter on the VWAP, so ideally we would see it come down to the VWAP and then show us clear direction, and maybe we miss out on a little bit of the gains, but that's totally okay. That's honestly expected with this strategy, right? We're looking to see if we can get a 1% gain. And it does hit our strategy goals here. So needs to sweep liquidity, which coincides with the VWAP, and the fib also need divergence on the lower channel. Spot on. We got an expert in here. We got a pro trader here. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Jonathan. Until we have clear confirmation, you're just gambling. Until we know definitively which direction it's going in, you're just gambling. And that's why, like, I'll only end up taking like 4 trades in a week, and that's fine. That's the strategy, and it works. It works. Do you want to trade 100 times in a week and not be profitable, or do you want to trade 3 times a week, twice a week, and make enough money? It's up to you. If you want to just continue to go gamble, feel free. It's fun. It is fun. It is so much fun to gamble. It's so much fun to gamble. But do you want to make money? Then have the patience, have the discipline, and wait for your setups. Don't go chasing shit. There's no need. No need. So while we wait for this to have some confirmation, plus look at this, okay? Had we entered while I was talking about the FOMO, we would have gotten cucked. We would already be down 0.25%. Are you joking? Come on, we're using 10x leverage. We'd be down 2.5% right now. It pays to be patient. It pays to just hold off and wait. Just give it a minute. Let it cook. Let it cook. Okay, in the meantime, let's go through the portfolio real quick. Let's showcase. We've been doing daily updates on it since I started coming back to these lives. I'm sorry that you got a gross ass background here, and I'm sure it reverberates a little bit. I got the foam panels I'm putting up today. I got a bunch of these foam panels, so I am excited to get these up on the walls so it sounds nicer. I'm ordering a new camera so that the quality looks nicer. We're gonna be lit. This is gonna be a good live streaming session, you guys. This is the bag holder portfolio challenge that I've been doing with you guys for 3 months at this point. It's been a slow grind, no denying that at all. It's been a slow grind. We started with $500 and we've been growing this thing. It's up at 612. We almost hit 650. I know these are super small numbers. This is not a trading challenge. This right here is not a trading challenge. This is my investing portfolio challenge. This is where I'm taking $500 and over leading into the crypto bull market that's to happen in 2025 if the halving cycle plays out again, taking $500 and going to buy a house with it using cryptocurrency. I want to showcase to people how powerful this asset class is, how not easy, but how possible it is for people to generate an excessive amount of wealth. If I can take $500 and flip it into an asset that could generate me $500 a month in rental income in perpetuity, that's a powerful asset, right? So that's what I'm doing here. This is what is currently inside the portfolio. It's not doing too hot today, but being down 0.4% is not really a big deal. What I like to look at here with this, ready for this? This is my portfolio compared to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, currently speaking, is down 15% since we started the portfolio. This portfolio is up 4%. Again, not dramatic, but that's a 19% gain compared to Bitcoin. That is dramatic. That is dramatic. If we annualize something like that, if Bitcoin does a 10x and we can outperform Bitcoin by a factor of whatever that is, come on. We're looking at some good money. What are you guys interested in chatting about? You guys got anything you want to break down? Anything, any news that's been happening for you guys? Most of what's hot right now is Solana, which makes complete sense. That like is very much expected to be in the news source right now. In the news source. Ripple moves to have SEC's request to appeal XRP decision denied. That's not going to go through. I guarantee you that does not go through. Like their decision to I guarantee you the court system allows the SEC to appeal this decision. Guarantee. It's going to go to higher and higher courts. Let's see what else. BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase are helping the Ukraine government launch a recovery bank. Nice. It's kind of gross because now they're going to profit off of the war, and they're doing it right in front of our faces. They're blatantly doing it right in front of our faces. They're going to profit so much off of this. They're going to be the banking institutions that lend out the money at high interest rates because everywhere in the world has high interest rates. And then the people of Ukraine are going to have to pay all of the interest back to these people. So they're literally going to profit immensely off of this. BlackRock also owns the weapon manufacturing companies that have been providing them with ammunition to continue the war. So it's almost as if they are funding the destruction and funding the rebuilding. It's disgusting. Are you DCAing under the bag holder portfolio, or did you go all in a single position 3 months ago? No. I do not ever go all in any of my positions, but I also do not DCA. It's a little bit more of an intricate portfolio management tactic that I use. Thoughts on API long? I'll look at API long in a second, Johnny. Uno momento. I do not DCA. I do something called laddering. In the portfolio challenge right now, I don't necessarily have enough capital to do the laddering appropriately. I have $83 of cash in this portfolio, which is a good amount, right? That's not anything to laugh at. That's for a $600 portfolio. That is 14% cash, 13.5% cash. I wait for assets to get below a price point that I think it's a good deal at, and then I start accumulating. Then I do something similar to DCAing called laddering, in which, let's say I had $1,000 that I wanted to put into quant. Let's look at quant for real. We're getting close. We're doing a lot of consolidation. It's just a waiting game at this point. Let's zoom into quant, okay? I think that quant under $100 is a killer deal. If you notice, I think quant is a really good investment. I believe this is not financial advice. I don't know your personal situation. You do whatever you want to do with your money. I believe quant will likely be above $2,000 in 2025. That's some really, really amazing returns, right? That's some really good returns. You're looking at, in my opinion, a potential 20x. Despite that, my average price for quant, my average buy-in price for quant is sub $100 because that's where I view it is the best deal. That's where I think it's grossly undervalued, and I set my price point to $100. So when we first dip below $100, I start entering in. Let's say I have $1,000 I want to buy into quant. As soon as I see it below $100, I'll buy one quant or even half a quant. And then if we go to $95 like we did back here, I'll buy 0.6 quant. And then if we go to $80, I will buy 1.5 quant, right? I increase the amount that I will buy as long as it continues to go lower. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So not only am I just putting in $100 every week into quant regardless of price, I don't think that's a good strategy. You're asking to get yourself wrecked because that means you're going to buy quant when it's up at $1,000. You're still going to be buying quant. I don't think you should be buying quant at $1,000 if you DCA appropriately. I like to ladder. That means that anything under $100, I'm buying quant. Anything under $80, I'm buying 1.5 times as much quant as I was previously, right? So from 100 to 80, I buy one quant. And then from 80 to 60, I buy 1.5 quant. And then from 60 to 40, I buy 2.5 quant, right? I increase that so I can continue to stack my bag. That's what I do, at least. That's how I try and manage my portfolio. Also, what's unique about this portfolio is that every single week, I add new funds. On Sunday, I add 1% of the portfolio's value every single week. Because that's how you grow a portfolio. That's how you grow a portfolio. I'm telling you right now. If you want your portfolio to compound at an excessive, alarming rate, if you want to have it go straight up and to the right, you have to add new funds consistently. You have to do it. There's no way around it. You're not just going to put $500 in. You can put $500 in and hopefully hit it big. If you want to be an investor for the long term, you have to have a reasonable and rational approach to this market, which means you have to continue to add funds into your portfolio. That's the only way you're going to get to an excessively large portfolio. That's how I've done it in the past. That's how every smart investor does it. If you want to be here for the long term, you have to have a strategy that is conducive to you being here for the long term, right? Cool. Glad we're on the same page with that. Now, okay, let's look at API long. Are you looking for price analysis or just my thoughts overall, Johnny? Best cryptocurrency APIs. Yeah, wait, can you clarify it? Thoughts on API long? Okay, look at this. This is showing signs that a reversal is coming, okay? One, just long. Thoughts on long, okay. One, we are getting closer to that middle VWAP. That's the entry point that I like for it, okay? We're still in a downtrend, but it's starting to show signs that it's reversing. Why do I say that? Because we have the RSI here pulled up, okay? We have the RSI. Let's line these up as best we can. We line them up here, okay, at the beginning. So you see right here, the RSI, the relative strength index. This tells you the power behind the volume, okay? The relative strength index, it's exactly what it says. It's the strength of a move for that cryptocurrency, for whatever asset it is, right? So you can see that the RSI peaked or dipped down to here. We dipped down and became very oversold. Became very oversold here. And the price followed it pretty much to a T. Then the RSI started rebounding and we started coming back up, right? Now we're coming back down again. The RSI is not as low as it was before. Okay, you can see that very clearly. You guys following? The RSI is not as oversold as it was before, but the price is lower. That is called an RSI divergence. That is when the two differ in their actual action on the charts. When the RSI does not match what the actual underlying asset is doing on the chart, then there is a divergence, and generally speaking, the price will slingshot in the direction of the RSI divergence. Now, it's a lot more nuanced, and in actual practice, it does not always line up perfectly like that. However, you can see it play out very frequently, right? Like when we were coming down with this, okay? As we were falling here, we had the RSI right here go very oversold, right? Go very oversold here. And then the RSI went oversold again here, but the price continued to fall lower, but the RSI did not go lower. That was indicative of a reversal happening, which is exactly what happened. So that's what we're kind of paying attention to here. Internet is much better. I assume you got a cable. I did not get a cable, interestingly enough. I did move my desk around a little bit, so maybe it just was in a dead zone for a second, but I did not get a cable. So did that RSI divergence make sense to you guys? Everyone can kind of conceptualize the divergence that's happening, the difference. Hey.
Maybe on Cameo?
Sure. I think he was on a little bit earlier too, but this is Bird. Bird. Hi. He shit all over the floor this morning. That's actually why I was 5 minutes late to coming live, because I had to clean up his poop. Going to rewatch this later. Yeah, I was going in depth on this one, so it might be a good idea to skim through a little bit of it. I explained the strategy again. I just went through the RSI really quickly. There's a lot more information to the RSI. I'm not really doing it justice right here, but anytime it gets below 30 on this scale down here, it's considered oversold, and it's indicative that the strength of the sellers is running out, because you can't just indefinitely go more and more oversold. Eventually it's going to swing back the other way, just like a rubber band. If you pull it too far, it's going to snap and go back the other way. The same thing on the upper side. If it goes above 70, and these are just the parameters I set it to, you can change it around. If it goes above 70, it's overbought, right? And then when there's a divergence happening, when the RSI is bottomed and then a lower high, a higher low, and then another higher low, that's usually indicative that the price is going to swing up, especially if the price is still trending down while the strength of that movement is trending the other way. That's usually indicative of a price that bounces. So it's happening again here. Patience everyone. It is 10:10, so we're getting close to the end of this. I'm going to enter a trade on this 100%. I'm just waiting for a little bit of a breakout to occur. I'm waiting for the clear change of direction. Let me draw it for you guys, and then I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys have any more questions, we wanted to look at long boy. Long coin. Oh, it's tiny. It's new. Long coin is not supported on Coinbase. Is this the correct coin that you're talking about? Are you going in Discord after? Not for like another live session, but I will be. Yeah, you can hit me up in Discord 100%. If you're watching this and you're not in the Discord, you should be in the Discord, the Crypto Night Premium Discord. We do multiple classrooms. We have 3 different creators who are giving off their opinions and their knowledge in that Discord. It's so worth it, in my opinion at least. I am a little bit biased, but I break down the rationale behind each move that I take in this portfolio challenge. There you go. So it just broke. It would have been advantageous for anyone, right, who wanted to take that risk to get in right as it touched the VWAP. It's generally speaking not the worst idea, but literally you just saw it break. IRL. So I am waiting for this to come back down for a little, like a second or two. I will probably enter around there, okay? I will keep you guys informed on the Discord. I know, let's see, AR Constructions, Builders and Developers. This is not like a traditional trading live stream that you might watch out there where they take trades constantly. We're looking for specific setups. We're looking for very specific setups to have everything in our advantage. We want everything to be in our favor here. So if I enter the trade here, get a solid 1% gain, if I'm continuing to do a 1% gain 3 times a week, I'm gaining 3% on my portfolio every single week. We can take that $100 and turn it into $10,000 very reliably. It's going to take a little bit of time, but everything worth having takes a little bit of time, especially if you use leverage. I like to use 10 to 15x leverage when I do these trades, which means really I'm doing 30% a week on the portfolio. That's fast as hell. Post your entry for Matic in the Discord. Absolutely, I will. Thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate you. Your time is your most valuable asset, so hopefully you found this worth investing into. I have to go make a shit ton of content. I was actually planning it all out. Look at that. I couldn't sleep last night, so I was out here scripting a few videos, so expect these videos. I'm going to wait for another minute or two because I'm likely going to enter this trade here live with you guys. It's getting cold in this apartment. The stop out would be if we make a lower low here, but I am going to extend it a little bit further. So that's going to be where my stop loss is, 0.555. My take profit is going to be 1%, wherever the 1% is, okay? Wherever the 1% is. I'm gonna grab my phone, get ready to enter. Yes, Jonathan, yes. This is where I'm looking to enter. It's a small enough risk, right? I take my profits at the previous high. I take my profits at the previous high. So that's 1.12%. That hits my 1% target, and I'd only lose 0.4% if it did not go in my favor. That's a 2 risk 1 to make 2. That hits my price target as well. I'm entering the trade right here. Okay. Your main focus was TikTok. I haven't seen you on it. Are you getting back into the rhythm, moving, or have I missed it? No, it still is my main focus. I'm doing these live streams with you guys to practice trading with everyone and kind of like get a good connection in the live form content on YouTube. I like YouTube. I use it all the time. It's really just been the amount of chaos that happens with this condo renovation. I'm still on cement floors. The walls are still unpainted. I cut a hole in one the other day. It's pure chaos. It's pure chaos. But do my best. Now that we're here and we don't have a time constraint anymore, I can actually like fully dedicate myself to making content again. So I appreciate you guys. Again, your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully you found this worth investing into. Let's go. Let's go.